The Peruvian territory was home to many ancient cultures, from the Norte Chico civilization on what is now the north-central coast of Peru, to the Inca Empire, who dominated the Andes region from 1438 to 1533. The Spanish Empire colonized the region in the 16th century and established the capital in Lima, which is still the capital city. Peru gained its independence formally in 1821, although they remained in recession until an economic boom corresponding with the extraction of raw materials. Peru entered the War of the Pacific in 1879 with Bolivia against Chile, which ended in 1884 with a Chilean victory. Peru was caught in the middle of the conflict at first, bound to Bolivia by a secret treaty of alliance. Chile called to Peru to remain neutral, but Peru refused. Lima was occupied for a brief time in 1881 by Chilean forces. Both Peru and Bolivia lost a significant amount of land in the war. The country has ranged in governmental systems from oligarchy to democracy and has endured periods of political unrest and internal conflicts. The Shining Path, or the Communist Party of Peru, first launched internal conflict in 1980, claiming to be the vanguard of the world communist movement. The Shining Path are classified by the Peruvian government, the United States, the EU, and Canada as a terrorist organization, killing an estimated 69,280 people with an additional 4,000 people missing. In 2007, Alberto Fujimori, the Peruvian president from 1990 to 2000, went on trial for the murder of 25 people killed by an army death squad during his rule. In 2009, he was sentenced to 25 years in jail for crimes against humanity, specifically for ordering killings and kidnappings by security forces. Later in 2009, he was additionally sentenced 7.5 years in prison for embezzlement. Fujimori is, however, credited with defeating the Shining Path and for restoring Peru's economy at the time. Raymond Chavez was born in Bogota, Colombia in 1963 and raised in Barcelona, Spain. Chavez received a degree in fine arts in Barcelona in 1989. Currently, Chavez is based in Lima, where he has worked collaboratively with his partner, Gilda Mantilla, since 2001, while also maintaining a solo career. Gilda Mantilla was born in Los Angeles, United States, in 1967 and raised in Lima, Peru. Mantilla received a BFA in Peru and graduated with honors with a degree in painting in 1990. Currently, Mantilla is also based in Lima, where she works with Raymond Chavez, her life partner. Mantilla and Chavez were both featured at the 27th Biennial of Sao Paulo in 2006. Mantilla, as a solo artist, represented Peru in the 2003 Venice Biennale as a part of the Latin America Pavilion. Project SD is one of the galleries that features the artistic duo, located in Barcelona. In 2010, Chavez and Mantilla opened the exhibition Observations Around the City of Dust, which featured the works that evolved into the exhibition at the Venice Biennale of 2015 in the National Pavilion for Peru. This exhibition ran concurrently at Revolver Gallery in Lima, which also represents the pair. As described by Gilda Mantilla and Raymond Chavez, Peru has very peculiar weather conditions where it remains foggy on the precipice of an always distant and never arriving rain. The collaborative duo wanted to connect the weather conditions of Lima to the idea of fatality, in reference to specifically those as a result of political unrest in Peru. While researching the weather conditions of Peru for this project, they spotted a man pushing a trolley with a load of cardboard to a processing facility and decided to investigate. This idea of the cheap substance that is recycled and repurposed, but always hidden behind a nicer exterior, became the substance of Misplaced Ruins as a metaphor for the political unrest in Peru and the disappearances and death of its citizens, hidden beneath a carefully crafted image of the country as a tourist destination. As a statement to the world about Peru, the duo used recycled cardboard from Peru in 6 different orientations. As a grid, curving down from the wall to the floor, as an expanse of gray in reference to Lima's gray skies, as a calendar where each day's square represents the color of Lima's skies on that day of the month, as rows of cardboard, recycled, held upright as if for shipping or for sale, as a sheet of cardboard suspended in a vitrine half full of water and left to disintegrate, as a pile in a vitrine of shredded cardboard ready for the recycling process, and as stacks of bundled cardboard cut to the size and shape of Peru's paper currency. In order to enter the space, viewers had to ascend and descend a large, yellow, pyramidal staircase, reminiscent of the ancient Inca and Norte Chico ruins that are scattered throughout the landscape, a reference to Peru's pre-Columbian architecture. An audio track ran ominously in the background as well, referencing traditional music and sounds from Peru's landscape and history, then altered by the artists. Misplaced Ruins attempted to explore the local issues of Peru as they translate into a global context. The work was intended to be relatable enough to a global audience that lacking an in-depth knowledge of Peruvian history wouldn't inhibit the viewer from gaining an experience of the work. However, when a viewer is more attuned to the political concepts at play in the installation, the work truly shines. Curators of contemporary Peruvian art seem to advocate for a means of working that breaks through the traditional manifestations of culture and the country's pre-Columbian past, which is usually highlighted as a marketing strategy for the commercial exploitation of tourism, and towards a promotion of contemporaneity, yet without forgetting Peru's history, but instead constantly reinventing its role in the arts. It seems fitting that Max Hernandez Calvo, the curator, would highlight the work of a collaborative pair whose work so delicately traverses this line between global and local, past and present, for the country's debut in their own pavilion at the Venice Biennale in 2015. In addition, the work made for the Biennale is so deeply rooted in a Peruvian reality, conceptually, historically, materially. Latin American artists must constantly fight for visibility, especially when most Latin American countries' only opportunity to exhibit at the Biennale is in the Latin American pavilion or under the shadow of the Mexican, Argentinian, and Brazilian pavilions. It is within these contexts that I would argue Misplaced Ruins was an incredible success.